A couple years ago, back when I used to waste time at bars and clubs on occasion, I was about 22, 23 at the time. And even then I was kind of iffy on going to clubs. I was just boring of them and getting tired of them. But my friend dragged me out and told me I need to get out, blah, blah, blah. So we went, we had a good time, and we were leaving. And out of the blue, it was like 8 guys that came out and for no reason just attacked us. I mean, no provocation. They didn't try to take any money. And to this day, I don't know exactly what they wanted, but my best guess is that they were trying to impress the females that they were with because, we were fighting these guys for maybe like a minute or two, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're getting jumped, trust me, it's a lot. I assure you, it felt like forever. But the only reason they stopped was one of the girls that they were with actually ordered them to. When maybe a minute or two had passed by, they were like, stop, 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 because they could see things were getting serious. So then they kind of just ran away. No cops were called, and this happened in like plain sight. People were watching this go down. Nobody called the cops. Nobody tried to help. It was just me and my friend fighting 8 guys, which meant for each of us, we had 4 people to deal with, which meant for each punch we landed, which wasn't very many. When you're getting jumped, for each punch that we landed, we received like 3 or 4 back. So when all was said and done, we both had black eyes and busted lips and bleeding noses. It just wasn't a fun experience. But you know what? It taught me something. It taught me that next time, I'm not going to get caught off guard like that. It taught me, that was one of the catalysts for me to not waste time in clubs and bars anymore with a bunch of pussy whipped men that need to show off for women. But it also taught me, don't get caught off guard like that again. And from there on out, I made sure that if I ever get put in that situation again, that there's going to be repercussions. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And today I regard the whole incident as a pretty valuable learning experience because it taught me the importance of self-defense. People will want to commit acts of violence against you for reasons even as trivial as impressing some girl that they're with. It's just how it works. And so I took it upon myself to make sure that I'm defended at all times. With that said, it brings me to an article I just read from the Huffington Post, and I put it in the link. And this article is basically some feminist women speaking about how men have to defend women from street harassment and rape. Let me read to you exactly how the section of the article that I'm examining here starts out. And it says, and I quote, "I'm happy that conversations with this young woman center on things she can do rather than the usual tips on what she should not do, like not walk alone or dress provocatively or be out too late." And then it goes on to say, but we need to shift the focus here to how to get men to stop raping and harassing women. End quote. So, with that said, once again, I was jumped. I didn't look to anybody to feel sorry for me. I didn't look to anybody to pass laws to give me more protection than everybody else. I took it upon myself to make sure that I protect myself. From there on out, I told myself I need to protect me. Yet in this supposedly equal society where women are independent and women can do whatever men can do, they still feel the need to insist that it's men's responsibility to protect them. The article continues. It says, right now most women walk the streets like soldiers, alert to whoever is around them. We need men to pay the same kind of attention and then to intervene when they see someone talking or acting out of line. And they need to say, that's not how we treat our sisters in this neighborhood or this town or this state or this nation. Good idea for them to have a buddy or two along to help reinforce the message. You know what? I got physically attacked and nobody called the cops. Nobody decided, oh, here's this guy getting the crap kicked out of him and his friend. We're going to call the cops. And you know what else didn't happen? Not a single woman, and this was on the strip. People could see what was happening. Not a single woman or even a single guy came to help. But more specifically, not a single woman came to help. And that is the norm. That is the norm throughout society, that if women see a man getting attacked, they will run the other way. That's the norm. That's the status quo. Women will not risk themselves for the well-being of another man, especially one they don't know. So why do women feel that it is their right to conscript men into this unofficial, ever-present security force in which every man should run around just waiting like some kind of superhero to rescue women from being attacked? In a society where both men and women are equal, why should one deserve protection, physical protection, more than the other? Do you think that is your right? Do you think men are your possessions, that you have the right to tell them who they have to defend? Do you think that you're deserving more of defense than men? Why aren't you asking for a group of women to patrol your neighborhood so that you feel safe? Are they not just as capable as men? This is the type of misandry that men are begging to be victims of, because it makes them feel like men, like real men. Well, I call bullshit. And I'm not defending you or any other female from shit. This is the attitude that men must have. Stop defending women, you're equals in this society. You see two men fighting, how many men are jumping in to beat the crap out of the guy who started it? You don't see that happen. So let women handle themselves on their own. I'm saying, for the world to hear, right here on YouTube, that I will not step in to defend women in any way, any shape or form, for any reason. You're on your own. Just like I was on my own, you're on your own. Deal with it. And to the men listening to this, I assure you that none of these women will step in to help you. None of these women that don't know you care about you. And as a matter of fact, they're perfectly fine with you getting stabbed or shot or killed in order to save them. They're perfectly fine with that because they see you as a disposable bodyguard and they don't give a shit about you. That's what you need to understand. This isn't about hating women. This is about the fact that they don't give a shit about you and your well-being at all, period. They can say it here on YouTube, but I'm telling you, if you end up getting jumped by 8 guys or 4 guys or whatever, not a single one of them is going to step in to help you. So be advised. Be advised that this is how women see you, as their personal bodyguards. You're expected to dive in front of the proverbial bullet for them, and they will not do the same for you. I assure you, if you've listened to anything on any of my videos, take that into account, that not a single one of them will help you in your time of need. Not a single one of them will risk self-injury to help you. Not a single one of them do this. You can even look in the military. You know, how come all those flag-draped caskets are all male? Because not a single one of these women will risk themselves. They'd rather get pregnant to avoid deployment. They'd rather let men take the risk because they see themselves as above men. This is what feminism has created. Female supremacism. And female supremacism shows itself in a variety of ways. One of which being that females think that they are more entitled to avoid risk than you are just because you're a man. And they will happily let you die for them. And why would you want to defend somebody like that? Do exceptions exist? Sure. I mean, you know, there's the anomaly. Some women will try to defend you. But let's be honest here. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, most women would not step in and save you from shit. You're on your own. So women, I want you to know that there exist men in this world, men like me, that are telling you straight up, for everybody to hear, that we are not interested in defending you from anything, and that in an equal society, you're responsible for your own defense, and that we are just as harmed from knife wounds and bullet wounds and getting punched in the face and all that. We are just as prone. It hurts us just as much. So we're going to be worried about protecting ourselves now. And you can go ahead and protect yourself. And that's it. There will no longer be any men. Well, you know, let me correct that. There are going to be white knights and manginas that are convinced they're doing the right thing, being a real man, stepping in front of bullets for you. But there's just going to be less and less as this idea catches on. And you got to understand, women, that this idea will catch on. And the reason it will catch on is because the moment you force this whole equality nonsense onto society, this fake equality, it was also the moment that we were going to start treating you like equals. And, you know, you're getting what you asked for. So I got to say on the subject.